Hey everyone, it's Owen here from OTech, and today we'll be unboxing the HIS RX480 IceQ X2. This isn't the Roaring Turbo version or any of those larger variant. This is the IceQ X2, so it's simply just a small dual fan cooler on it. This is basically the mini version of their RX480 custom card. And so we're just gonna take a look at that, and first let's just take a look at the box itself first. Pardon me, I'm a bit sick right now, so you can hear why I kind of sound different. So here's some specifications or features, I should say, about the cooler. Composite heat pipes, metallic fan shroud, integrated VRM heatsink. Now that's really nice, but basically all RX480 custom cards have that, so it's not exactly a feature anymore. But yeah, that's good. And the fan does stop like all other cards, and also dual 90mm fans. And you can see like their heat pipe design being shown over here. So yeah, and basically just other specification and features. 500 watt minimum power supply required or recommended, but I would say even a 400 watt power supply would be enough, unless your system has like a really super power hungry CPU. Those are usually overinflated, those power supply requirements. So yeah, here it is, the inside box, a plain cardboard box like usual. So as you open, there's more box, and this time it's basically the accessory box. So we'll take a look at that. You get an 8-pin to dual 6-pin connector. That's actually really nice, and that's handy, since if you might have an older power supply that only has dual 6-pin but no 8-pin, you can use this to make it work. Although I would go and say that even a single 6-pin to 8-pin would be fine, as that would be still safe. So you also get a user manual and driver package thing over here. Yep, driver disc, which is like, as I usually said, always throw it away and download the latest one from the AMD website, and the user manual over there. So let's just close it back up and put it away, since we're just gonna take a look at the card itself. So the first thing I noticed is that the box is kind of inadequate for the card, since it's a small card, and for some reason HIS decided to use their IceQ Roaring Turbo box over here, which leaves these massive gaps, so the card can actually like move around in shipping. So I don't know, it seems like it's more likely to get damaged this way, but this one arrived fine, so I guess it could be just enough. So let's take it out of the anti-static plastic wrap, and it's got the protective plastic kind of already peeling off, so why not we just go ahead and remove it completely. Oop, yeah, that wasn't very satisfying. That's like usual, but okay. So here's the card itself, and like they said, they have a metal shroud. Now this is actually really nice. I like when manufacturers put metal or aluminium, any kind of metal, on their card, because it really gives a more premium feel. Even though this is one of the cheaper RX480s, this card feels really solid. It doesn't really bend or flex from what I see. And this also is an LED, by the way. This is just a logo, and it has another protective plastic, although we don't need to remove that to take a look at that. And basically this card is the smaller version of the RX480. So this was first launched as the RX470 IceQ X2, but I guess they saw a market for these cheaper RX480s, and they put an RX480 chip on it, and out comes this card. Basically, the difference between the Roaring Turbo is that it's got a larger cooler on the Roaring card, and the PCB is also smaller, although I still see the BIOS switch over here, and also the 8-pin connector. So I'm not quite sure what VRM this thing has. I mean, if we're going to go with what HIS and XFX put on their larger cards, this should be a good VRM. Although, to be honest, this PCB looks a bit like a small version on it only. so it should be a pretty good VRM if XFX and HIS did the same thing as they did on the Roaring card. And also, by the way, HIS is owned by XFX, as far as I know, which is why their card are right now basically the same thing with different shrouds. So XFX also has the smaller RX 480 with a different shroud, like I said. And yeah, about this card, it has lower clocks than the Roaring Turbo as well. Although I'm not sure what the clocks are on the specific card, since the box doesn't say anything about that. And it's got the 8-pin, like I said, so that's good. That means it wouldn't overload the PCIe connector, so it would just draw all the power from the 8-pin to the V-Core VRM, or at least like mostly from the 8-pin, so it should be fine, way better than the reference card. And also on the back itself, you got the usual RX 480 display outputs, 3 display ports, 1 DVI port, and 1 HDMI. Also the HIS logo, as usual. And yeah, matte black PCB, which looks really nice. And this is also an 8GB card, although all the RAM modules are on the other side, so they get actively cooled by the fan. And the VRM, like they said, is connected to the main cooler, so that's really good for cooling the VRM, which means that you can probably push this more than the reference one, which has a VRM heat plate, and that's not really enough since the VRM gets over 100 degrees easily on the reference cards. Although this one also has a tiny cooler, so I'm not sure how much you can overclock on this. But yeah, that's basically it for this card. It seems like a solid card, and I don't see why would you not want to buy this if you need a smaller RX 480. Although I'm not sure if I will be doing a review, since the 500 series is about to come out and I don't really have a lot of time, and I still have some other videos to churn out. So yeah, that's basically it for this unboxing. Seems like a nice card, and I would say it's okay to buy, since yeah, basically the same fans as the Roaring card, and that's not exactly a very loud card, so this should be okay. Although it does have a smaller heatsink, so I wouldn't recommend buying this card if you're planning to heavily overclock. Better off with the larger card, although this does have the dual BIOS, so you can put like an upgraded BIOS with higher power limits or lower memory timings, and get more performance if you want to without fear of breaking the card. And as usual, the PCIe 3.0 X16 slot at the bottom. But yeah, I think that's it for the card. Oh, and for the cooler itself, it does have 3 heat pipes, so it's not a lot of heat pipes. And yeah, since this is a smaller cooler, so they probably can only cram 3 heat pipes on that. Although I don't see that's a problem, since the RX 480 doesn't actually get that hot, since its TDP is pretty low, to be perfectly honest about it. Some people exaggerate about AMD being hot, but these days their efficiency basically is pretty good already, especially on their CPUs. But I'm getting out of the topic over here. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is the unboxing of the HIS RX 480 IceQ X2. Hope you liked the video, and if you do, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.